Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you are having a fantastic weekend so far. I hope you're staying healthy and staying strong. Welcome Fuang, hi Chayani, hi Alfred, welcome to our members. Good to see you in this class as well. Welcome Ridham, Harjot, nice to see many of you. This is an all chat class, so everybody is welcome to join in on the chat and to volunteer in a little bit for practicing your IELTS speaking. This class is an IELTS speaking part 3 about exciting activities. And the lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. These are the textbooks for these live classes. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. Both of those websites have lots and lots of materials for you to improve your IELTS speaking scores. This is our academic IELTS website here at aehelp.com. Click this big red button there just above my head to join the premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, and we are an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner, and we're an IELTS test registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent, so you are in good hands with us. For the general IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com. It's the green background. And again, you can click this big red button here to join the premium package. We will use the websites in a little bit for practicing speaking. I will check out the apps. Yeah, a couple of you said the app doesn't seem to be working, so I'll check out the app and see what's going on there. Okay. For those of you who are having issues. For me, it's working, but I will check it out. We did just do a major upgrade on the apps, everybody. So you might have to download it again. The apps are Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. So download the apps. If it's not working for you, let me know. But we just uploaded new versions of the apps. So try to download it again. Okay, students, use the code on the websites, Learn9, to get the 10% discount. Okay, so Learn9 for a 10% discount. Instagram is IELTS_AEHelp, GIELTSHelp. Check out the Instagram profiles. And if you have questions, send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com and admin@aehelp.com. Okay, so if you're having trouble with apps or anything on the website, or you have a question about English or the IELTS, send me an email and we'll help you out. Okay. Yeah, Hadil, you can book speaking interviews on the website. I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay. So you'll see it in a bit. Students, after this class, there's no class until Thursday. That's usually when our classes start. We'll start with speaking part 1 for everyone on Thursday. We did release a new speaking video. Here it is. You can check that out on the YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell button, hit the notification button so that you can get notifications of new classes, live classes, new videos. Tanish, I'm just getting over a cold and my voice is a little bit raspy. I know, I feel it. It's like, ugh. But it should be good by next Thursday, so it should hold for this class. It should be okay. Okay. Mansoor, it's not tell me your country name. It's what country are you from or where do you live? I live in Canada, Western Canada, Victoria. Okay, everybody, IELTS speaking part 3. The good news is you don't need to worry about my voice because you will be speaking lots in this class. I will simply be asking you questions and giving you a band score estimate. Speaking part 3 comes after speaking part 2 2. It's connected to part 2, speaking. Okay. And you have to make connections. So you have to say things like, as I mentioned in part 2, or in the previous part. Okay. Band 8, Band 9 level marks, they're connected. So it sounds like a conversation. So you want to make connections between your answers, between your ideas. Okay. So make sure to connect. Okay. All right. Romelia says, keep a bit of your voice for my interview, please. I will, Romelia. I'll do my best. And I have a bit of break there too, so it's all good. All right, so let's talk about exciting activities. That's the topic for part 3, because part 2 was about an exciting day in your life. Okay, so here we want to talk about exciting activities. Now, as soon as you hear the examiner introduce part 3, you have to think of some ideas. So what are some exciting activities? What kind of activities? Oh, Sarah's in the class too. Welcome again to our newest chat moderator, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. So what are some exciting activities? Anahita says dance. Yeah, dance can be a very exciting activity. Skydiving. What else? Hard job. Play is not an exciting activity by itself. Golf. Okay, sure. Right. Golf can be exciting. Bungee jumping. Now, with golf, of course, you have to explain why it's exciting. Clubbing, Agnes, sure. Climbing. Yeah, or even more specifically, rock climbing or free climbing. Anybody knows what free climbing is? What is free climbing? Snorkeling. So all those water activities, right? Water skiing. Paragliding. Sarah says ballet with a T. Archery. Football. Yeah, watching movies. Some movies are very exciting. Eugen, thank you for those cute emojis. I'm actually doing fantastic. It's just my voice is a little bit suffering, and I think it's the last thing to suffer from this cold. It's the last of the symptoms. Boxing, yeah, martial arts, very exciting. Anybody able to answer that free climbing question? Yeah, Hadil, good. So Hadil says free climbing is climbing without a rope. Yes. It's called free climbing. Okay, good. So you obviously have a lot of good ideas for these questions. All right. So let's answer this first one together. Okay, and then after that, it'll be all about you and all about you speaking, and I will give you tips and strategies as you answer these questions. So the examiner says, okay, that is the end of part 1. Let's continue with part 2. Let's continue with part 3. For this part, I will ask you some more questions related to the topic of part 2. What are some adventure sports that people like to do for excitement? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this. Okay. So, what are some adventure sports that people like to do for excitement? Give me a nice full sentence answer. I'll do the same. I'll write up a band 9 answer while you're thinking about yours, okay? All right. There we go. Exhilarating means very exciting. Good question, Anahita. If you don't know a word, make sure to ask me, okay? So, what are some adventure sports that people like to do for excitement? There are several exhilarating sports that people participate in when outdoors, like rock climbing, water rafting, and skydiving. I have jumped out of a plane at 1,000 meters, and it was the thrill of a lifetime. Okay, so you can repeat after me. There are several exhilarating sports that people participate in when outdoors, like rock climbing, water rafting, and skydiving. I have jumped out of a plane at 1,000 meters, and it was the thrill of a lifetime. So here, Marco says, there are so many sports that people do for excitement, such as football, tennis, or basketball. In some cases, such as climbing, these activities are dangerous, but allow people to increase confidence. Yeah, now Marco, pay attention. It's adventure sports. So adventure sports are like rock climbing, skydiving, water rafting, mountain biking, road biking. Okay. Football, tennis, basketball, those are team sports. They would not be considered adventure sports. So here, the examiner is also kind of testing your vocabulary and your accuracy. So for this, Marco, you will only get a band 7 at best because you are not clearly talking about adventure sports. Okay. All right. Tanish says there are many adventure sports. That's why it's good to use the question in your answer. Tanish, very nice. So Tanish says there are many adventure sports like rafting, bungee jumping, paragliding, and many more. I personally like skydiving. People do these because they want to experience the thrill. Yes, good. Much better. Adventure sports. Adventure sports. Kushal says sports like river rafting and bungee jumping excites the most because it has a thrill factor. They have a thrill factor. They have a thrill factor, and it develops impetus feeling in the participants. For several individuals, it gives a sense of pleasure and motivates them to be adrenaline junkies. Adrenaline junkies means being addicted to adrenaline, doing activities that promotes the production of endorphins. Okay. All right. Good. Chen. Where's the rest of it? I don't see it. Maybe you're just telling me what you did. Oh, there it is, Chen. I see it. Chen says there are numerous breathtaking activities like bungee jumping, skydiving, and paragliding that individuals enjoy. Last week I went rock climbing and it was exciting and at the same time tiring as well. Very good. All right, students. I think you have the right idea. I think you're on the right track. Let's do a bit of volunteering. So as Romelia said, save your voice. And I'm going to hit two birds with one stone. Save my voice and get you to practice lots. So to volunteer for speaking, and I will type down Band 9 answers and corrections. Cycling can be an adventure sport, Alfred. Yeah, absolutely, because it's outdoors. Okay, any sport that's kind of outdoors and you're doing it by yourself and you're doing something that is you against nature is an adventure sport. Okay, and cycling is you against nature. Even road biking is you against nature, right? Anmol, adrenaline means endorphins. Endorphins. Okay, so go to aehelp.com, everybody. You're going to this website here. We're going to use this in the live class. Go to your My Student account. Click on Student Partner Speaking. When the browser says, can the website use your microphone? Yes. And your speakers. And then message me. You'll see me as Master. And then write, I want to volunteer. Let me show you. So here's the website. You click on the big red button to join the premium package up there. If you're in these classes all the time, do it. Join the premium package. It's good for you. If you're like, nah, I just like free stuff on the internet, then click the green button. Okay. And get the free stuff. Go to your My Student account. And click on the Student Partner Speaking. Boom, right there. When you click on that, it will say, by clicking accept, you agree to the fact that you're 18 and you are responsible for your actions and you should not share private information with other people and you will use this for IELTS and be respectful. Yes, that sounds like a plan. I'm preparing for IELTS. And then you are in the speaking chat interface and you see all of these amazing, lovely people that are here. Many of them are members. Many of them are premium users. Good for you, premium users. Thank you for your support and make sure you're learning lots. And some of you are in here trying it for the first time, being like, yeah, I want to check this out first. Let me see what's going on. Yeah, and you in. If you're not 18 yet, technically, it's your responsibility. You should ask your parents, hey, is it okay if I use this website for practicing for IELTS? If they tell you it's okay, then it's fine. All right. So you're in here and then you volunteer. You will see me in here as well, and you'll see a blue envelope beside my name also. My name will appear as Master. It's just easy to identify. So Master. And you click the blue envelope beside my name and then say, I want to volunteer. Okay. And don't call me. I will call you. If everybody tries to call me, it'll turn into a zoo. So let me put on my ears first. Okay. And Raquel, you had a turn, but if we have enough time, I might circle back to you. Okay. So we'll see. Alfred is here patiently. Are you ready? Alfred volunteered yesterday as well. We're looking for a Domenico also. We're looking for everybody to volunteer, and I will kind of jump around at random. So here we go. Hi, Alfred. Are you there? I do not hear you. You picked up really fast and then it's crickets, silence. Not sure why. Make sure your connections are good, students. Yes, Alfred, I see that you're saying you're there, but I definitely don't hear you. I'm not sure if you're using a VPN. Try again in a bit, okay? All right, Ken Jayeva, let's see if you're here. Are you ready? Okay, cool. Hi, Kenjayeva.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. What about you?
My voice is a little bit off today, but otherwise I'm great.
Yeah, not that.
It's not like I need my voice for anything anyways, right? So I'm all good. Um,
Make
Kenjayeva,
sure to take care of your health.
I do my best. Absolutely. Thank you. Kenjayeva, all right, let's get into some part three questions. Are you ready to talk about some exciting activities?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then let's do it. So that is the end of part two. Let's continue with part three. For this part, I will ask you some questions related to the topic of part two. Let's talk about exciting activities. What are some adventure sports that people like to do for excitement?
Well, as far as I know, people like to do extreme sports like skydiving, kite racing, or snowboarding. And I think they do it because life is boring without such kind of sports. And when I was a kid, I used to go with my parents water cycling, and it was really exciting.
Why do people do some of these dangerous sports?
Well, I think they might be addicted to it due to the adrenaline, uh, or they are just do it for fun. Like one of my friends liked to do dangerous maneuvers with his bike, even so he got several serious injuries. But I think even this can stop him from doing it.
Okay, that was nice and fluent. I can't keep up with you typing. All right, but I got most of it. That was okay. So the examiner. This is the examiner's head inside the mind of the examiner. Okay,
Sure.
very fluent. So they would say, okay, you're very fluent. Pronunciation is 90% clear. Grammar is 90% accurate. Grammar range is fantastic. Vocabulary is excellent. A clear band, 7.5 to 8. Okay, so depending on your other answers and how you did in part one and part two, you're definitely hovering close to that band 8 mark. Okay, which is good. You're improving. You're faster. You're more confident, Kenjayeva. Your regular practice is paying off. You're definitely getting stronger and stronger with your, not just your English, but your communication. Let me show you exactly what I mean. So I asked you, what are some adventure sports that people like to do for excitement? And then you said, well, as far as I know, it was a really natural start. It was kind of like, because it's adventure sports, we have to think for a minute. It's not like your common everyday sports that you're talking about. So you said, well, as far as I know, people like to do extreme sports. And that was really good vocabulary. So that's very good paraphrasing for adventure sports. Extreme sports, adventure sports. Extreme sports is probably even more popular than adventure sports as far as vocabulary, but the IELTS would say adventure sports just so it's a little bit easier for the candidate. So that was really good that you paraphrased it with extreme sports. Okay. And then you said like skydiving, car racing, and snowboarding. Really good range of sports. So skydiving, very different from car racing, very different from snowboarding. So a very good range of extreme sports. And then you said, I think they do it because life is boring.
Yeah.
Otherwise, sure. Okay. Your example was a little bit long. Try to make your example a bit more concise so the examiner doesn't interrupt you. But with that fluency, they probably won't anyway. So that was very good. And then I asked you, why do people do this even though they're dangerous? And you said, I think they might be addicted to it due to the adrenaline. That was really good. Okay, that was a very good response. And then you said, or just for fun, right? Why not? And then you said, like, one of my friends does dangerous maneuvers on his bike. So this is where I'm kind of like, okay, I can't give her a band 9. And I'm starting to kind of shy away from an 8.5. So I'm kind of more towards an 8 here for sure. Because of this word maneuvers. Do you know why I'm picky about that word maneuvers?
No. Or it might be that maneuver is usually related to cars, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So it's out of context. And so it makes it sound a bit awkward. And somebody at a band 8.5 or a 9 would most likely know that with bikes, it's either tricks or what's the other word that we could use? It starts with an S.
S.
Mm-hmm. Somebody can help Kenjayeva in the chat if you know the word. So dangerous tricks with a bike or dangerous, Petrus has it in the chat there.
Stunt.
Mm-hmm. Stunts. Yeah. So they're tricks or stunts. If somebody is, and then if we're really looking for a band 9, okay, then you might even include a quick example of a stunt. That would show me that, wow, you really have band 9 vocabulary. If somebody is riding their bike on the rear wheel only, so if they're on the bike and they're just on the rear wheel of the bike, so the front wheel is up in the air, do you know what that's called?
No. I just saw him doing such kind of movements, but I have no idea what it's called.
It's called a catwalk or pop a wheelie.
Oh, sounds cool.
Yeah. So they can do a catwalk or they can pop a wheelie. Okay. Or some people are saying in the chat just a wheelie. Yeah, and a wheelie. Yeah, the spelling is like that. Yeah. So a wheelie. Okay. So he can pop a wheelie or wheelie, right? So something like that, or standing on his bike without holding the handlebars, something like that. So it's that kind of detail that they're really looking for when they're looking at that band 8, 5, 9, right? Very visual, very specific, very accurate vocabulary. Okay, just try the sentence and everybody else can repeat as well. Like one of my friends likes doing dangerous tricks on his bike, like popping a wheelie.
One of my friends like to do dangerous tricks, like Papa Willy.
Okay, good. Now you got a band 9, like pop a wheelie. All right, I can't believe I brought that into a lesson, but thank you, Kenjayeva, for helping me explain how to say that in English. All right, Kenjayeva, keep up the good practice. So lots of reading to build that vocabulary even higher. And then when you're answering the questions, really focus on just these very intricate details, okay? So you're already at that good to very good level. Now you're building towards that expert level, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, keep it up. Bye, Kenjayeva. All right, that was Kenjayeva. Give her a thumbs up. That was awesome. Yeah, Siddhant says, Kenjayeva, you rock. You do rock. That was great. Okay. All right, let's take some more volunteers. Petrus, I think you didn't have a chance, right? Last class. So let's see if you're here. I think we tried, but you couldn't connect. Maybe you figured it out. So Petrus, are you ready? Petrus is a premium member and a member of the YouTube channel. So let's try Petrus. Petrus, if you're there, let me know. Hopefully you figured out the issue. Oh, Petrus, there you are. Just mute YouTube.
Hello?
Hi, Petrus.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me clearly?
I can. It works
Oh,
for
yeah.
you now.
Yeah. I muted the YouTube. Thank you for the advice.
Good. Petrus, where are you?
I actually come from Indonesia. Same with Chayani.
Okay, you are in Indonesia. And why are you doing the IELTS exam?
I'm planning to continue my MBA in the UK. Hopefully next year.
Okay, great place to do it. Are you going to London?
Actually, it's Cambridge University.
Oh, wow. Top shelf. Good, good.
Yep.
All
So,
right. Good for you. You
it's
must
quite
have
hard.
you
Yeah.
must have some good marks in school.
Yep.
Okay.
Hopefully it yeah.
Well, when you become a rich businessman, don't forget about me, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Uh,
Okay.
no,
I will help you get there. That's my job. So I will ask you some part 3 questions. Are you ready?
yeah. I'll
Okay.
try.
All right, here we go. Let's talk about exciting activities. What kinds of exciting new activities exist today that were not possible 50 years ago?
I think one of the extreme sports that was not possible before today is um, deep diving, because deep diving really needs complicated and sophisticated equipment uh, to make sure that the divers are safe at all times. So yeah, I think it's quite important to have the technology that only been recently developed.
Which of these are popular?
Um, I think, uh, yeah, as I've mentioned before, the deep diving is quite popular among professional divers, and even some casual wearable technology maker like Apple is making an Apple Watch uh, just to deep dive up to 100 feet. Yeah, so it's
Okay, I'll stop
quite,
there.
yeah.
All right. So you've got good English, but you need better content. I think some of our regular
Yep.
viewers are probably thinking that as well. Okay, so this is inside the mind of the examiner. Okay, they'll be thinking like this: fluency is okay, 6 to 7. Okay, grammar is very good, but grammar range is lacking. Vocabulary is excellent, and coherence is lacking. So so total band 6 to 6.5. Okay, but you need more, especially for Cambridge. You need 8.
Yep.
But I think you can get that very quickly because I think you have the English. You just have to practice the right kind of answer. Okay. So the first tip, very important, and this is for everybody. Okay. So pay very careful attention to plurals. Okay, that means when the question is asking for multiple subjects or subject nouns. Okay, so here the question is, what kinds of exciting new activities exist today? Okay. As soon as you hear that plural, you need at least 2, but in this case, I would say at least 3. So deep diving is okay, and that's quite unique. I mean, you thought of a very unique answer. I think there's a couple easier ones. 50 years. How much time is 50 years?
Maybe 5 decades ago.
Yeah, 5 decades. What's another way to say it?
Oh, okay.
So 5 decades is good. What would be another good way to say it in this case?
Oh, half a century.
Yeah, now I can give you even more marks for vocabulary. And if I want to be specific, I could say something like back in the mid 20th century. Right? Okay. All right. So, and you don't have to be perfect. So, I mean, snowboarding, for example, did already kind of exist during the 70s, but you could say snowboarding. The examiner's not going to be like, well, in fact, snowboarding existed in the 70s. They're not going to say that, okay? So, so even though like some of these sports did exist in the 70s, it's okay if you say like they weren't really popular or they didn't really exist back then, right? So, what are some other sports that come to mind for you other than deep diving?
Uh, Maybe skydiving
Sure.
and
As a sport,
bungee
probably.
jumping. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The topic is quite new for me, so yeah, it takes a
Be
while
ready
to
for
brain.
that. Be ready for that. Okay, so
Yep.
it happens very often for candidates
Mhm.
that they go to their IELTS speaking, and then they think they can guess the topic, or they think it'll be just like talk about your hobbies, but then it's something completely different. Like when I went
Mhm.
to the IELTS exam, part one was about math. Talk about math, and it's like okay,
Mhm.
right? Like it's not something you expect to somebody to ask you, like talk about math. Who was your favorite math teacher? What? So topics will often surprise you, so you have to be ready, and you have
Okay.
to remember part two. So whatever you were thinking about part two, um, you have to keep that in mind, and then you can answer a lot better. Okay. Just try it again now that you have more than one activity. Okay. So what kinds of exciting new activities exist today that were not possible 50 years ago?
Uh, Maybe besides deep diving, it's also the case with skydiving and bungee jumping.
Okay, let me
Yep.
stop you there for a second. I'm going to give you a
Mm-hmm.
better strategy for this. So, as soon as you hear the plural kinds and activities, okay, and this is for
Hmm.
everybody. So, obviously, I'm giving this advice to everyone. As soon as you hear plural, okay, so with plurals, as soon as you catch it, as soon as you hear it's like an S there and they're looking for a multiple answer, start with several.
Okay.
Okay, that way you basically force yourself to make sure that you're giving more than one. So several extreme sports that were not available for the general public half a century ago include snowboarding, bungee jumping, and deep diving, because the technology had not been created to ensure the safety of the average citizen. However, now many people enjoy these sports. In fact, I'm a deep diving enthusiast. Okay, so that would be your band 9 level answer. Okay, let me say this, and everybody else repeat this as well. Okay, so several extreme sports that were not available for the general public half a century ago include snowboarding, bungee jumping, and deep diving because the technology had not been created to ensure the safety of the average citizen. However, now many people enjoy these sports. In fact, I'm a deep diving enthusiast. So, what are some exciting new activities that exist today that were not possible 50 years ago?
So several extreme sports that were not accessible for general public half a century ago include snowboarding, bungee jumping, and deep diving because the technology hadn't been developed yet to ensure the safety of the average citizen. However, now many people enjoy these sports. In fact, uh, they're bringing it as the content in their YouTube channels.
In fact, I'm a deep diving enthusiast.
You can. Okay. In fact, I'm a deep diving enthusiast.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Little bit
Good.
I won't hurt.
Yeah, you got to be careful there. But that was good. So that's what they're looking for for that band nine,
Okay.
that grammar range, that accuracy. Okay. So when it's plurals, make sure you're answering plural.
Mhm.
Okay, clear?
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. Okay, that was really good. Do you have a date set for your IELTS exam, Petrus?
Uh, haven't decided yet, but I'm planning to take the IELTS exam early next month.
Okay, lots of practice, all right? Lots of practice for
Yep.
that band 9. Make sure you're focusing on that content, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good luck,
Okay.
Petrus. Keep coming back and volunteering, okay?
Yep.
Okay. Bye for now.
Deeply appreciated. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Bye. All right, let's give Petrus a thumbs up. Hopefully, he makes it to Cambridge Business School. Very competitive indeed. All right, students. I'm going to have to refresh the page by the look of it. Let me see. Yes, I need to refresh the page on my end just to reconnect to all of you. So you want to do the same. Just refresh your page. And then you will reconnect. Okay, so you'll see when I refresh that many of you kind of disappeared from my screen, which is okay. It gives us a chance for a fresh start. We'll have our techs look into that as well as the apps. We're just doing a lot of upgrades, so that's why you're seeing that happen. But as soon as you refresh the page, you'll see everybody coming back in, and then you can volunteer again. Sagat, I see, has volunteered, so let's see if Sagat is available. Are you ready, Sagat? Yeah, Alfred, if you're having an issue, just refresh the page, refresh the chat. And I recommend refreshing it every now and then because the internet isn't still perfect around the world. And sometimes it's not just on our end, the server side, but it can be on others. So every time you open the chat, when you have it open for 10, 20 minutes, just give it a quick refresh, okay? All right. Sagat is ready. Hello, Sagat. I hear you picked up. Are you there? It's like I hear something there, Sagat, but I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, Sagat, check your connection, check your audio device, make sure everything's set up correctly. Okay? All right. Let's take another volunteer. Alexander. Always good to hear from Alexander. Alexander, are you ready? My voice should hold for a little bit longer, and then I'll rest it for Romelia's speaking session. Okay. Alexander, if you're there, yeah, sure. All right, here we go.
Hello.
Hi, Alexander. How are you?
Hello. I'm always fine when. Thank you. I'm okay.
All right, good. Alexander, excuse me. Do you do any extreme activities? Do you drive a race car? Do you go bungee jumping? Anything like this?
Oh, I used to do some activities like like swimming with a tube, snorkeling we call it. Right?
Snorkeling, like
Yeah.
looking at the fishes underwater.
And winter time I use cross country skiing.
Cross country skiing.
Skiing, yeah.
It seems like a really relaxing sport, but I've tried it and it's a lot of work. And if you get lost in the deep snow, it's stressful.
We have special territory, special distances prepared for, even for, let's say, some kind of special way of moving.
Oh yeah, I'm very familiar with
Yeah.
it. Here in Canada, we have lots of snow. I'm going skiing next week actually, so I'm familiar. All right, well, Alexander, let me ask you a couple of questions, and then you can give me some nice full sentence answers. Are you ready?
So,
Okay, now make sure to focus on concise, clear, confident, loud answers. Okay.
okay.
All right, here we go. So let's talk about exciting activities. How will technology change the way people seek excitement in the future?
Well, I think that every year or every century we will have new technologies which will help us to have more secure activities with better influence to our health or our experience, and which which will bring us more enjoyment, excitement, relaxation, and as a final target of all these activities, from my point of view.
Is this good or bad?
Well, let's think it's good, because we are happy that a lot of plenty of new technologies provide us a lot of services which make all these activities safer and enjoyable, and even sometimes more interactive. I think it's better, of course. It's a progress anyway.
All right, I'm going to stop there. So the IELTS examiner at this point is thinking band 6 to 6.5. And they're thinking this, okay? So fluent, but often repetitive. Vocabulary and missing detail. Grammar is okay, with some odd mistakes, and lacking range. Okay, so pronunciation is clear for the most part. Okay, so that's kind of what they are thinking. All right. One piece right away, Alexander, that I was missing here, because we're talking about the future, right? We're talking about future innovation, is an actual piece of technology. So I was hoping that you would mention some kind of technology that we have developed or that we might be developing, which will change the way people look for excitement.
Some examples, you mean?
Yeah, like some specific device,
like navigation or controlling of your pulse, or your heartbeat, or some health control.
Now, even though these questions on the IELTS sometimes seem like they're too philosophical or they're too tricky or challenging, the idea on the IELTS exam is to keep your thoughts simple, right? And to use what you know now, like not to try to overthink it. Like you don't have to say, well, maybe in the future we will have robots that we can piggyback on and they can go down the mountain with us or something, or up the mountain. So we don't have to think about these very unique kind of ideas. We can think of, like you said, that we have new technologies which help us to be more secure or safer, right? So what kind of safety equipment do you think might exist in the future that can create some kind of exciting activity or help people have some exciting activity?
We can list several kind of equipment, like as I just mentioned, navigation or health control.
Yeah, so navigation, health control. And remember at the beginning, I asked you if you did some exciting activities, and you said, yeah, like in the ocean, you like to do snorkeling, or you did cross-country skiing. So what kind of technology for those two activities would maybe come into existence in the future that could help us?
Probably more equipment for which provide you more oxygen during your activities on the sea.
Yeah, and remember, Alexander, not but for people or divers or snorkelers, right?
So which make them more safety.
Yeah, so here, what I would do is I would visualize this content. And in order to give me time to visualize it, I would buy myself some time because it is kind of an interesting question. So remember, and this is a tip for everybody, is buy yourself time. And it's a smart strategy. So here, how will technology change the way people seek excitement in the future? That is an interesting question. And I'm sure there are many scientists and engineers working on such technology. Okay, so that sentence is a good sentence because it's accurate to the question and it's buying me time to think about it. And during this time, I'm thinking about what I do and what I can think of, like snorkeling and like cross-country skiing. So I think there will be, notice all the future tense, Alexander. It's will be, right? So I think there will be new equipment that will allow people to explore places for longer time and with more involvement than before. Like a breathing mask for swimming underwater for hours. I would love to have this for snorkeling. Or an electric ski. Watch this one, Alexander. Electric ski, which can allow a person to do
Or let's say listening guide,
yes.
which provides some tour of around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like or an AI guide that gives you a tour. Absolutely, or gives a person, right? So use what you know. So here's my answer. Just listen to it, Alexander. And everybody who has, good intermediate level English, try not to read. Try to just listen. And after you listen, try to repeat. You don't have to repeat the exact same words. What I want you to repeat is the concept. Okay, so the idea. So that's an interesting question. And I'm sure there are tons of engineers working on this kind of technology. I'm sure there will be equipment to allow people to explore places for a longer time with more engagement, like a breathing mask for swimming underwater for hours. I'd love to have this for snorkeling, or electric skis that allow a person to do cross-country skiing without any physical effort. How will technology change the way people seek excitement in the future?
Well, that is an interesting question, and I'm sure that there are many scientists and engineers who are working on such technologies. And I think there will be new equipment that will surely allow people to explore more places for longer time and with more involvement than before, like a breathing masks for swimming underwater for many hours. I would love to have this for snorkeling, or an electric ski which can allow a person to do cross country without efforts.
Yeah, or even ski up the mountain. Oh boy, those ski resorts would sure go out of business quickly, right? If you had a ski that could take you up the mountain.
Easy.
That you'll be a billionaire if you invent that, right? A ski that takes you up the mountain. Okay, Alexander, that answer that you just gave me, that's an easy band 8.5. Okay, notice how it's all about the content. It's that valuable content that gives it that high band score. Okay, so Alexander, keep practicing that, right? Use what you know, keep practicing that. Thank you so much for volunteering.
Thank you. Today's subject is very new for me, I think, for many people.
Yeah, and you want to practice new subjects because IELTS will surprise you. So it's a good practice.
Very nice.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Bye, Alexander. You're welcome. What a great guy, Alexander. Thumbs up to him. Fantastic. Okay. All right. Let's take somebody else. Alfred, I think you had some issues connecting before, so let's give Alfred a shot. Alfred, are you ready? Harjot, that's exactly what I'm drinking, is a tea with honey. Yeah, to help my voice. Absolutely. I don't even think I'd be speaking anymore if I didn't have that. So it's my new technology for exciting IELTS lessons. Tea with honey to keep me speaking. All right, Alfred, here we go. Alfred, I don't hear you. And I don't know why. Maybe your connection is different than before, because I know we've connected lots before, so I'm not sure what it could be. But see if anything's changed on your end. If nothing's changed on your end, let me know. If you're not using a dynamic internet access point or not using a VPN, let me know, okay? But we'll figure it out. All right, let's try John. Most popular English name in the world. John, are you ready? Yes, Alexander, lots of Canadians do drink tea with milk. Absolutely. It's the British culture. Yeah. All right, John, here we go.
Hello, Sam.
Hi, John. How are you?
I'm doing perfect. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. We've spoken before, right, John?
Yeah, sure, a couple of times.
Yeah, I recognize your voice. Can you just tell everybody where you're from again?
I reside in Uzbekistan, Samarkand to be more precise.
Okay. And do you do any kinds of exciting activities like snowboarding or jet skiing, anything like that?
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do. It's like just yesterday there was, snow came and we played a snowball today with my classmates. It was
Okay.
fun.
All right. Just make sure nobody hits you in the eye. Snowball,
Sure.
it's almost because people think snowball fights are like the most innocent activity and everybody has fun until somebody loses an eye. There's actually a saying like that in English. I don't know if you've heard this. So it's a lot of fun until somebody loses an eye. It's a weird saying, but it isn't a saying in English. It's a lot of fun until somebody loses an eye.
Seems like it's cold there, right? You caught a cold. Your voice has changed.
Yeah, it is, and it's the third like flu or something that I've had in the last 2 months. It's not. Akira says I got hit in the eye in the chat, by the way. So yeah, people unfortunately do get hit in the eye with snowballs all the time. No, it's actually not the cold. It's this post-COVID situation where there's just so many viruses and bacteria that are active now because we had the quarantine and the mask. So it's like, and I have kids in school. It's like half the school is sick with something. So it's not fun. I don't know if the vaccine was a good idea, but we'll find out. So
Well, thank God we are safe here in Uzbekistan.
yeah, well, if you're not having as many flu and virus problems as we are having a lot of problems in Canada right now with flus and viruses for sure. So yeah. It's hard to there's a saying, when you push against nature, nature pushes back, and we pushed against nature very hard in the last 2 years. So
I do believe.
yeah. So again, watch out with those snowball fights. Okay, just close your eyes.
Sure.
Close your eyes like this, and then throw the snowball like that. You won't hit anybody, but they won't hit you in the eye. All right. Okay, John. Here we go. Are you ready for some questions?
Sure.
All right, so part 2 was about an exciting day in your life. So here's the next kind of part 3 topic. Let's talk about special days in a person's life. What days are common in many cultures to be considered special for the individual?
Well, I believe we, like, as a human beings, we all have crucial moments in our life. For instance, whenever we passed a very important exam, such as IELTS. Personally, for me, passing IELTS test would be, very crucial moment when I feel, kind sort of relaxed. And apart from that, marriage situations would be also important in our lives, because it's like the choice between like who to marry is like very important, and it's very crucial not to make a mistake when it comes to this.
Why is it important to celebrate such days?
Oh, we do celebrate because we think that by doing so we could ensure that. Oh my, please give me a second. Yeah, we do celebrate such days because we want those memories last long, so that we can, whenever we feel we suffer from pain, we can just remember those times and basically ease the pain with those perfect memories of ours.
Very nice. Okay, that was good. That was a solid band 7 to 7.5. All right. I want to focus here on this second answer. So the first one was good. Okay. You were a little bit slow to get going, but then you were thinking, and then you realized, okay, why don't I throw in an example like the IELTS and then marriage? We don't want to make a mistake in who we marry. And then I asked you this, why is it important to celebrate such days? And you said, we do celebrate. We think that by doing so. And then you kind of got stuck and you're like, and then you said, please give me a second, right? That was brilliant. John, that was brilliant.
I had actually no idea.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Perfect. That was good. That's what you want to do. Everybody who's watching, that's what you want to do in the real IELTS. That's what you want to do. If you start becoming incoherent because you have no idea what you're talking about. If you have no idea what you're talking about, the examiner definitely has no idea what you're talking about, okay? So in the beginning there, I had no idea what you're trying to say, right? So you realized that and you stopped yourself, and that was the smartest step that you could have done, is just stopped yourself. And that was smart. And you have to be confident and calm to be able to do that. And you can say that. It's natural English. You can say, I'm not making any sense. Please give me a moment, right? So it happens.
I basically had no idea.
Yeah, you can get a band 9, even if you start with a really strange answer because you have no idea what you're talking about, but then you're smart enough to say, I'm not making any sense. Please just give me a second. I will reward you for that as an examiner because it's a natural, normal response. It's natural English. It's a natural human reaction. You're stopping. And then what happened after is even more amazing, John, because you gave me a fantastic answer. You said, we do celebrate such days because we want those memories to last long. Very nice, natural English. And then you said, and when we suffer from pain. So you started to create a conditional sentence here, and a real condition, because all humans at some point in life suffer from pain, whether it's from physical injury, some kind of illness, or some kind of emotional pain. We all suffer from pain. So a very good use of the real condition. When we suffer from pain, we want to ease the pain. And see, because you actually let your brain think, you were coming up with just really good vocabulary. Ease the pain is a lovely expression here. Ease the pain with those perfect memories from, and you messed up a little bit at the end here, but it should be from our past.
Yeah.
Okay? With those perfect memories from our past, like my band 9 on IELTS.
Ideally, wish it happened in real life.
Well, if you keep thinking in a smart way like this, it will, okay? So a very important piece of advice here, students, is if you don't know what you're saying, stop yourself. There's just absolutely no good reason to keep talking when you have no idea what you're talking about. If you have no idea what you're talking about, ask for the question to be repeated. Ask for a moment to think. Let the examiner know, okay? They're not a robot. They're a human. That's the nice difference between IELTS and TOEFL. The TOEFL speaking, if anybody's tried the TOEFL exam, in the TOEFL, it's a robot. The computer literally says, why is it important to celebrate such days? And then you have 20 seconds to record your answer. And that's one reason a lot of people don't like the TOEFL, is because it doesn't make sense to evaluate speaking when you're speaking with a robot. But in the IELTS, it's a human being. So it's okay to say to the examiner, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm a bit nervous. Just give me a second. Okay. So, or here's another nice expression for you, John, and for everybody. Please give me a second to collect my thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Have you heard this before? Collect my thoughts?
Sure.
Yeah. It's a very nice expression. So please give me a second to collect my thoughts. And then wait a second, collect your thoughts and give a nice answer like you just did, and you'll get a much, much better score. And now, you don't want to do that for every second question. Then you will have a very strange conversation. But certainly in part 3, when you have a bit of a difficult situation, or even in part 2, if you feel like you're going off topic, you're not making sense, just say, just a second, I'm going to collect my thoughts. Okay, look at your notes and then continue, right? So very nice, John.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much for showing everybody how to do that. That was great.
Well, thank you for assessing me.
Okay, keep it up, John. You're definitely improving, and your communication is becoming more and more intelligent. So keep it up, okay?
Thanks.
Okay, bye for now, John. All right, and careful for everybody who's playing snowball fights, all right? Okay, everybody, I am going to stop for today there, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't. I'm going to try to save my voice a little bit here. As you guys can hear, it's starting to slowly but surely disappear on me. So I'm going to stop there for us, because we've had a lot of great content there, a lot of good effort by many different members and premium students as well. So keep up the good work. It's a good point to end on. If you're not sure what you're talking about, stop yourself, reassess the situation, okay? Gather your thoughts. Students, if you want to see a lot of videos where I'm not losing my voice and that are in HD content, go to aehelp.com, sign up for the premium package. For general IELTS, check out gieltshelp.com. We were using the website aehelp.com today for our speaking interaction, and we use these websites all the time for our practice exams, audio materials, and much, much more. So, Sarah, thank you so much for moderating the classes today. It was great, and I saw you giving people some advice and helping everybody out. So, thanks to Sarah. You guys can all say a big thank you to her, and I'll encourage her to come back and help us a bit more. Alfred, lemon tea, honey, right there. I'm on it. Thank you so much, and I will see you all next Thursday, when I will continue with speaking part 1. With my voice back to 100%. Keep it up. Keep going forward, everybody. Improving your communication will improve your quality of life overall. Bye for now.